It's not the drugs that are the problem. It's the trauma that's unresolved from childhood. That's the problem. Weed is not a gateway drug. Trauma is a gateway drug.
You're never not an alcoholic, which I disagree with. Look, if you were an alcoholic, which means in my book that you had to have a drink and it f***ed up for you, and then you stopped 5 years later, you haven't had a drink in 5 years, you're no longer an alcoholic. In my book, I know people will argue with this, but like, dude, if you don't have to have a drink, you're no longer an alcoholic.
Addiction is, again, it comes from shame. And it's not the drugs that are bad. You know, that's what we were taught in society to demonize. Oh, I can't have alcohol. Alcohol messed up my life. Alcohol was just the crutch, the thing distracting you from the shame and the deeper parts of yourself that you don't know how to deal with. A lot of people get rid of alcohol and then they just are like up in other ways, you know, because it's not actually the booze or the drugs. It's something else unresolved within that causes people to abuse these sorts of substances. So, you know, I think that we have a long way to go in our culture with like really understanding addiction. I think we demonize the drugs. We have this whole like, you know, Nancy Reagan, like just say no campaign. It's like, just say no. Like the whole point of being an addict is you can't say no. That's what being an addict is. So you tell people just say no. It's not the drugs that are the problem. It's the trauma that's unresolved from childhood. That's the problem. You know, weed is not a gateway drug. Trauma is a gateway drug. So, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not condoning like drugs. I'm not saying, oh, you know, go crazy with drugs, use them all you want. You're not an addict. Yeah, you might have a problem. You might have an addiction. But again, it's not the drug that's the problem. It's something unresolved within you that's just using this drug right now. And a lot of times when people get sober, the beautiful thing, and this is why getting sober is so healing for people, is it starts to peel back those layers of avoidance that they've built up. Okay, now that alcohol is gone, what is underneath it that I get to look at? And some people do look at it and continue to heal it, and some people don't. And in that sense, you're right, they're still an alcoholic. Maybe they just picked up gambling or something else now to distract themselves.